Hello everyone, today I'm in the beautiful Lustenau in Austria where I will perform the Well-Tempered Clavier by Bach. You know, I don't have so much time to practice and I still can manage to do everything. Of course, nowadays I'm a professional, so I've learned many strategies during the last decades, but I hear that very often from beginners, intermediate players and amateurs that they don't have enough time to learn the piano. But from my experience, you need only 5 to 10 hours every week to master the instrument. My name is Aaron Pilsan. I'm an international concert pianist. I'm touring the world and I also help amateurs and future pianists to master their dream pieces. And today I would love to talk about the biggest excuse of all times: I have no time for the piano. Let's get started. What is behind that excuse? I mean, there are many reasons why people might say that. You can have problems with your technique and you don't have the right strategy to actually solve your technical problems. Because that is the case, you practice for many hours, and you will feel that there is no progress in your playing. You feel like you're stuck, and of course you think that you need more time to solve the problem, whereas actually the problem is that you're not practicing it in the right way. For example, if you're playing a fast passage, and you're always stuck at the same passage or you make mistakes, then you think you need more time to correct that, whereas you would need specific exercises, rhythmical exercises with metronome, which would help you to actually get that passage done. Or you will have the problem that, for example, you're nervous if you're playing for someone and you think that you need more time for your preparation, whereas actually you have to tackle your mindset problems, which will help you to actually feel more comfortable in front of the audience. So these are problems, and then people come to me, they say, I don't have time. And usually during our first free lesson we figure out what the actual problem is, because the time is usually just an excuse, but most people are not even aware of that fact. So we have to figure out what really the problem is, because time is never the issue. If you have 5 to 10 hours every week, you can improve your playing no matter where you're at. The question, of course, is what do you do in the time that you have available? Let's say you're working, or you are self-employed, or you're maybe still a student and you don't have so much time to actually really work on your piano skills. Then the question is, what do you do? How much focus do you have to the tasks at hand, and how do you also reflect your practice? Most people, they just practice, they're just in this role of practicing, but they miss the overview, they miss the practice of the practice. You have to practice your practice. You don't just have to practice your piano playing, and that is super important if you want to master the instrument in the long term. Otherwise, what will happen is that you think you improve, you actually practice some things, but after you leave the practice session the next day, you have already forgotten everything, and that is a major problem. So it doesn't work just thinking you have to work more time, because you will actually just have more of the results you already have, right? If you practice in a certain way which brings you certain results, then you'll only have more of that if you practice longer. If you're the nervous type and you don't handle that, then you'll even feel more nervous if you prepare more, because you feel like there's more at risk. If you're someone who has the problem that you don't solve technical problems, but you're just repeating the passages in tempo and then you're failing, it will just be more problematic if you do more of that. So you're practicing everything, and if you don't have the right strategy, you practice the wrong things, you will arrive at the wrong destination faster. Most importantly, it's how do you practice? Not how long and not which pieces, but how do you practice the problems that you have? That goes in several steps. We have to first identify what the problem actually is, to actually figure out what the problem is, then to work out a solution, and then actually follow through. And it's a lot of rationalization to say, I know actually what I would need to do, I just have to do it. If you would actually know how to do it, you would already be where you want to be. If you're not there, then you don't have the solution yet. Then your practice is wrong, and not the time that is missing. Your practice is wrong. That is very important to understand. And you can tell yourself for many months and years that you actually know how to practice, but you don't have the results because you don't have enough time. But you will actually practice your wrong path and you'll arrive at the wrong destination. So you have to use each minute of your practice in the most conscious way possible, with the right strategies, with the right amount of slow practice, with the right amount of exercises, and with the right amount of performance practice. That is extremely important. Even if you're an amateur pianist and you don't plan to play concerts publicly, it's still important that you perform your pieces from time to time, so that you're actually sharing your music with others and that you actually improve on your pieces. Because if you don't play them for anyone, you can only reach 60-70% of a piece, but the last part, that will only come if you also practice the performing of the piece. Yeah. That being said, now I'm actually in the preparation of Bach's Well-Tempered Clavier. I played it through twice before the concert in the last days because I knew the piece already very well. And that happens when you know a piece very well, that you actually can just repeat it once or twice and you will know it perfectly for the concert. If you don't do that, then you will have hours of practice all the time. And it's so important to build this solid foundation with every piece that you're playing to reach a certain level. It's a common mistake that people just practice, say, to 40-50%. And then if you stop at that moment, it will drop again and you will forget everything you have done. If you go to 70%, you'll fall back to 40. If you go to 90%, you'll fall back to 60. So you have to know it really 110% and every single detail that you'll remember it. And then, surprisingly, you don't have to practice that much anymore. That being said, if you want to learn that as well, what you need to consider in your practice, if you want to stop, following your illusion that you know how to practice, then apply for a free piano lesson with me, a trial lesson where we'll actually analyze everything. I've used to call it strategy session because it's really that. We look what in your practice has been wrong, what has been right, and how we can do more of the right things, and especially how we can eliminate the wrong things. That's even more important. So if that's the case, then please apply. Don't hesitate, because I have limited spots. I can only work with a few people. I want to really give all of my energy to those people. So please apply at aaronpilson.com/academy. And I call you, in the next 24 hours or let's say 48 hours to find out if you're the right candidate, and then we'll go for that free lesson with you. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and be honest to yourself about your practice. Not being honest, just saying that you don't have enough time will not move you forward. You have to admit that your practice has been wrong before you can change something. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel, and we see each other in the next video.